"I've never seen a creature more beautiful than you," he said, and the alien women froze. As his shuttle broke through the thin atmosphere, he looked out the window and saw endless deserts that glowed faintly under the twin suns. The sky was pink and gold, and distant mountains shimmered like crystal. Even from far above, the city domes of the alien women sparkled in the heat. Alex was part of a small human team sent to Valith to create peaceful contact. Humans had never visited this world before. The council back home said it could be dangerous, but Alex felt excitement more than fear. He had spent his life studying alien cultures and machines, and this was his chance to see something completely new. When the shuttle landed, a group of alien women approached. Their skin was pale silver with soft scales that caught the light. Their eyes were deep violet and seemed to look straight through him. They moved gracefully, as if floating, though their feet touched the ground. Alex felt a mixture of awe and nervousness. "Welcome, humans," one of them said, her voice calm but firm. Alex did not know her name yet, but she was clearly a leader. The other women stayed behind her, silent and still. Alex noticed how their eyes moved together, almost like they shared one mind. He stepped forward carefully. "Thank you," he said. He tried to bow politely, as he had been taught in cultural manuals, but he felt awkward. These beings were nothing like the examples he had read about. The leader watched him closely. She raised a hand and the others did the same. Suddenly, Alex realized this was a kind of test. Any wrong word, any false smile might offend them, but Alex could not stop himself. He was curious, and curiosity was stronger than caution. "I have never seen a creature more beautiful than you," Alex said quietly. The words left his lips naturally, without thought of politics or protocol. Immediately, the alien women froze. Their hands paused in midair, their eyes wide. The leader blinked slowly, as if trying to understand what he had said. Silence stretched across the landing plaza, broken only by the soft hum of the shuttle engines cooling down. Alex felt a cold sweat on his forehead. He had meant it as a compliment, but he knew it was bold. He looked at their faces and saw shock, confusion, and maybe even fear. He had not intended to scare them, but clearly he had. One of the younger alien women stepped forward. Her voice was trembling. "What do you mean?" she asked, her words careful, almost musical. Alex swallowed. He had to explain, but he also wanted to be honest. "I mean that I have never seen anyone move with such grace. Your strength, your presence, it is beautiful to me." The women remained still, as if frozen in time. Alex began to worry that he had committed a serious mistake. But then, slowly, the leader nodded, almost imperceptibly. It was not a sign of approval, but it was not rejection either. It was something new. Curiosity, perhaps. Alex's team arrived behind him. Laura Bennett, the cultural mediator, gave him a warning glance. She whispered, "Be careful, they are not like us." "Words carry more weight here," Alex nodded. He felt both nervous and excited. He wanted to understand these beings. He wanted to see why his words had stopped them. He wondered if he could learn their ways and maybe teach them a little of humanity in return. The council of alien women gathered in a semicircle. They began to speak among themselves in a low, soft language. Alex could not understand the words, but he could hear the emotion. It was a mixture of surprise and confusion. No human had ever spoken with such honesty. No one had ever dared to admire them directly. The leader finally turned back to Alex. "Your words are unusual," she said. "On Valith, we do not speak of beauty lightly." "To speak so openly is to risk much," Alex smiled nervously. "I only mean what I feel. I am not here to harm. I want to learn. I want to understand you." The leader regarded him for a long moment. Then she gestured toward a wide pathway leading into the city dome. "Come. You will stay with us. We will see if your honesty serves you as much as your knowledge does." Alex followed, feeling the weight of their eyes on him. He noticed the smallest details. The way their feet barely touched the ground, the shimmer of their hair, the slight pulse of light beneath their skin. Every step he took felt like walking through a world entirely different from anything he had known. Inside the dome, the air was cool and slightly sweet. Crystal structures rose from the floor and ceiling, catching the light in complex patterns. Alex felt as if he had stepped into a dream. Humans would have called it a palace, but it was alive in a way he could not explain. He met several alien women who introduced themselves through gestures and careful words. Lurie, a scholar, was curious about his mind and asked many questions about Earth. Salen, a guard captain, watched him silently, her expression unreadable. Alex felt both intimidated and intrigued. Over the next few hours, Alex was shown the city and its workings. The alien women moved in perfect coordination. They spoke little, but their communication seemed to flow without words. Alex tried to follow their rhythm, but he stumbled more than once. Laura chuckled quietly beside him, whispering explanations that made him understand a little better. During a meal, Alex watched the alien women eat. It was a simple ritual for them, precise and controlled. He admired the beauty in their motions, careful but effortless. He realized that to them, everything had meaning. Nothing was done lightly. He remembered his words from earlier and wondered if he had truly spoken in the right moment. As night fell, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, and the dome glowed softly with internal lights. Alex lay in the guest chamber, unable to sleep. He thought about the alien women and the way they had frozen at his words. He had risked everything by speaking from the heart. Yet in that quiet moment, he also felt hope. Perhaps honesty could bridge worlds. Perhaps humans and Valythians could find common ground. He did not know what would happen next, but he knew this world had already changed for him. He drifted into sleep, dreaming of silver-skinned women under twin suns, and the strange, fragile connection that had begun with one simple, honest sentence. "I have never seen a creature more beautiful than you." Part 2, Confusion Among the Stars. The next morning, Alex woke to the soft glow of the dome. The light felt different from Earth, warm but gentle, like the sun itself had learned to whisper. He stretched and looked around the guest chamber. The walls were smooth, pale, and glowing faintly, giving the space a quiet, serene feeling. He could hear distant hums and movements, a sign that the city was alive even in the early hours. Alex dressed quickly and followed Laura, the human mediator, who had already begun her rounds. They walked through wide hallways where the alien women moved with effortless grace. Alex tried to match their pace, but he stumbled slightly. Laura laughed softly. "You will get used to it," she said. "They move as one, and their rhythm is not easy to follow." Outside in the courtyard, several alien women were gathered. Their violet eyes turned toward Alex and Laura as they approached. He noticed the silence between them was thick, almost like a wall. The words he had spoken yesterday still seemed to hang in the air. The alien women did not speak to him, but their stares were sharp, questioning, and uncertain. "They are still thinking about what you said," Laura whispered. "You must understand, Alex. Valythians do not take words lightly. Every sentence has weight. You have made ripples in their world." Alex nodded, feeling both proud and nervous. He had spoken honestly, but he did not know if the ripples would be good or dangerous. A woman named Lurie, a scholar among the alien women, stepped forward. She was tall and had delicate features. Her eyes studied Alex carefully. "Your words," she began, her voice soft, "they are unusual." She paused, searching for the right expression. "On Valyth we do not speak of beauty lightly. To speak openly of it is to risk judgment, sometimes even punishment." Alex swallowed. He had expected surprise, maybe curiosity, but not fear. "I did not mean to disrespect," he said quietly. "I only wanted to be honest. On Earth, humans admire honesty. We admire beauty in courage, kindness, and effort. It is not meant to offend." Lurie's eyes narrowed slightly. She was clearly trying to understand, but it was difficult. Valythian culture was built on caution and control. Emotions were often hidden, never shown openly. Alex had broken a rule without even knowing it. Salen, the guard captain, approached from behind Lurie. Her eyes were sharp and focused, and she did not speak at first. She watched Alex closely as if trying to read him. Finally, she said, "Your presence here is curious. You move and speak differently from any human we have records of. You must be careful." "Words can change more than actions here," Alex nodded. "I understand. I will try to be careful, but I cannot stop being honest." Salen studied him for a long moment, then seemed to accept his answer, though she did not smile. She motioned for him to follow her. Alex and Laura walked behind Salen into the city's main hall, a vast space filled with crystal columns that reflected the light in rainbow patterns. Alex felt as if he had entered a cathedral, though it was alive with gentle motion. Here, many alien women were at work. Some were engineers working on machines that hummed softly. Others were scholars, reading glowing tablets. Alex was fascinated. Everything seemed both advanced and natural, as if technology and life had grown together. "These are your first lessons," Laura said quietly. "Watch and learn. See how they move, how they speak, and how they act. Try not to interrupt and observe closely." Alex nodded. He felt like a student again, though he had trained for years in alien studies. Here he realized learning would be different. Observation was not just about seeing, it was about feeling the rhythm of life itself. He watched Lurie as she guided a group of younger alien women. She spoke softly, her hands moving in elegant gestures. The younger women followed perfectly. Alex noticed how precise every motion was. There was no wasted movement, no hesitation. It was beautiful in a way that went beyond words. He tried to imitate her gestures later under Laura's guidance. He stumbled repeatedly and Laura chuckled. "Patience," she said. "Your body will learn, but it is not the same as theirs. You must feel, not think, their motions." Over the next hours, Alex explored the city further. He saw workshops where alien women repaired flying vehicles, libraries filled with glowing scrolls, and gardens where strange plants grew under artificial light. Everywhere he went, he felt the weight of his words from yesterday. The alien women glanced at him often, sometimes with suspicion, sometimes with curiosity. During one visit, Alex saw a small accident. A young alien woman tripped and dropped a delicate crystal instrument. Alex rushed forward instinctively. He caught it before it hit the ground. The young woman froze, wide-eyed. Alex smiled gently. "I only wanted to help," he said. Salen appeared silently beside him. She raised an eyebrow. "You act without hesitation," she said. "Humans are not usually like this. Most would wait, consider, then act. You do not." Alex shrugged. "Sometimes action is better than thought. Sometimes honesty is better than hiding." Salen looked at him for a long moment, then nodded slightly. Alex could see the faintest hint of approval in her expression, though she quickly hid it. Later, Lurie came to speak with him. "You see our world differently," she said softly. "Humans admire what is not perfect. They see courage in effort, kindness in small acts, beauty in imperfection. This is strange to us. We value perfection and control." Alex nodded. "I know it is strange, but perhaps you can learn from it too. Sometimes honesty and courage mean more than perfect form." Lurie paused, considering his words. "Perhaps, yes. Perhaps there is something in your way that we have not understood." Alex smiled, feeling a small victory. He was beginning to reach them little by little. But he also knew that one mistake could undo everything. The alien women had rules that humans could barely imagine. He had to tread carefully. As the day wore on, Alex helped in workshops and gardens. He learned simple tasks from engineers like Noah Carter and Ben Harris, both humans who had come with him. The alien women watched quietly, sometimes whispering to each other in their soft language. Alex tried to stay focused, always aware of their eyes. In the evening, Alex joined Laura and Salen in a private chamber. Salen finally spoke openly. "I have watched you all day," she said. Your words and actions, they are strange but not dishonorable. You see things differently, and perhaps that is why your words yesterday froze us. You spoke without calculation, without fear. It is difficult for us to process. Alex nodded. I only wanted to be honest. I did not mean to shock you. I hope one day you can understand that humans are like this. Salen looked at him carefully. We will try, but it is not easy. Your presence here challenges everything we believe. Alex understood. He was not just learning about Valeth. He was changing it slowly by being himself. And that was more dangerous than any weapon. As the twin suns set, casting long shadows across the city dome, Alex stood on a balcony and looked out over the desert. He could see the shimmering mountains, the soft glow of distant domes, and the stars beginning to appear in the pink sky. He felt a strange mix of awe and responsibility. He whispered quietly to himself, I hope they can see me as I am, not just my words, but my heart. Inside, the alien women gathered in secret councils. Lurie and Salen spoke at length, trying to understand this human. Some feared him. Some were curious. All agreed that his words had started something new, a ripple that could not be stopped. Alex slept that night with dreams of silver skin, glowing eyes, and the strange, fragile connection that had begun with one sentence. The words echoed in his mind, not as regret, but as hope. Hope that honesty could build bridges, and that even in a world so different from his own, understanding was possible. Part 3. A human way of seeing the morning sun rose slowly over Valeth, spilling pink and gold light across the desert city. Alex Turner stepped onto the balcony of his chamber, taking a deep breath of the cool, sweet air. He felt different here. The world was strange, alive in ways he had never imagined, and every motion, every glance of the alien women carried meaning he was only beginning to understand. Laura Bennett, his fellow human and mediator, appeared at the doorway. Good morning, she said softly. Today will be different. You will see more of their world. You will help them, not just observe. Alex nodded, feeling both excitement and nervousness. He had learned much in the first 2 days, but now he would participate more directly. He hoped that his actions could speak as clearly as his words had. Their first stop was the city's workshop district. The alien women there worked on machines that hummed with energy, glowing softly as they operated. Alex followed 2 engineers, Noah Carter and Ben Harris, as they assisted the workers. Alex was careful, watching their motions before trying himself. Every movement had a rhythm, every touch mattered. You must feel the machine, not just see it, Noah explained. Alex nodded. He placed his hands on a floating device and let it respond to his touch. Slowly, carefully, he adjusted a panel. The machine hummed louder, then settled. The alien women watching him paused, their violet eyes curious and alert. Humans work differently, Ben said quietly. We touch, we try, we learn from mistakes. They seem precise in everything. Alex realized this difference was at the heart of yesterday's incident. The alien women froze not just because of his words, but because humans acted with feeling, not control. He wondered if they had ever experienced such honesty before. Lurie appeared, observing him as he worked. Your hands, they are untrained yet confident, she said softly. It is strange, but it does not harm. You act with heart, not calculation. Alex smiled. We learn by doing. Sometimes mistakes teach more than perfect action. Lurie watched him for a moment, then turned to Salen, the guard captain. Salen's expression was unreadable, but her eyes held the faintest hint of respect. Alex noticed it, though he did not comment. Later, the group went to the garden domes. Here, alien plants grew under soft light, some glowing faintly like tiny stars. The gardens were alive, each movement precise, yet natural. Alex helped water the plants, learning from the women around him. They moved smoothly, almost like a dance, but they were still silent, their eyes on him constantly. They are watching you, Laura whispered. Every action is judged, every gesture is noticed. Do not forget that. Alex nodded. He moved slowly, touching the plants gently, trying not to disturb the rhythm. Yet he felt something changing. The alien women seemed less rigid, their eyes softer. Small nods, small gestures, they were noticing his sincerity. One young alien woman dropped a small glowing fruit. Alex caught it before it hit the ground. She froze, wide-eyed, unsure whether to react. Alex handed it back gently, smiling. "It's okay," he said. "No harm done." Salen stepped beside him. "You act without hesitation. That is unusual. Most humans would pause, think, hesitate, and still fail. You do not," Alex shrugged. "Sometimes hesitation is worse than failure. Honesty and action together are stronger than fear." Salen studied him, her face unreadable. Finally, she nodded slightly. Alex felt a small thrill of approval. He was beginning to understand Velithians, and perhaps they were beginning to understand humans. The afternoon was spent in the engineering hall. Alex helped repair a small flying vehicle that had broken during routine testing. He worked with careful hands, guided by both humans and alien women. Each adjustment he made was precise, yet he let intuition guide him. The alien women watched closely, whispering to each other in their musical language. Lurie came to him again. "Your way is different. Humans do not fear error. You face it, embrace it, and learn. Velithians hide behind precision, hiding feelings, hiding mistakes. Your courage is remarkable." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He was not trying to impress them, he was simply being himself. Yet the words seemed to reach them in ways he had never imagined. He realized that his actions, combined with honesty, were building trust slowly, silently. As evening fell, the twin suns dipped below the horizon, and the domes glowed softly from within. Alex and Laura walked to a high terrace overlooking the city. Below, the alien women moved like shadows of light, graceful and deliberate. "You see them differently now," Laura said. "They still are cautious, but you have begun to reach them. Your words yesterday, combined with your actions, have created curiosity. They are questioning old rules." Alex looked down at the city and felt a mixture of pride and responsibility. "I did not mean to challenge them," he said quietly. "I only wanted to be honest. If curiosity grows, that is a side effect I cannot control." Laura smiled. "Sometimes curiosity is the first step to change. Remember that. Velithians respect honesty when it is paired with courage. You have both." That night, Alex joined Salen and Lurie for a private discussion. Salen's face was still serious, but her eyes were thoughtful. "You are not like other humans," she said. "Your presence forces us to reconsider. We see beauty in your actions, not just words." "It is unsettling, yet enlightening," Lurie nodded. "I have studied humans from records, but observing one in person is different. Your courage, your honesty, it challenges everything we know. We do not know whether to fear it or accept it." Alex smiled gently. "I am not here to threaten. I am here to learn and perhaps to share some understanding. We humans admire courage, kindness, and honesty. Perhaps you can see it in your own way." Salen considered his words carefully. "It is possible, but it will take time. Trust is not easily given. You must continue to act with honesty and show consistency in your ways." Alex nodded. I will try my best." The next morning, a sudden sandstorm swept across the city. The winds were strong, carrying fine particles of sand that cut the skin like tiny blades. Alarms sounded across the domes. Alex and the human team rushed to assist the alien women in securing equipment and helping citizens to safety. Despite the chaos, Alex did not hesitate. He lifted heavy panels, guided small groups of alien women and children, and offered encouragement where needed. The alien women observed him closely, their earlier judgment replaced with concern and attention. He acted without fear, without calculation, only care and determination. After the storm passed, the city assessed the damage. Small repairs were needed, but no lives were lost. Lurie approached Alex. "You risked much today," she said softly. "You did not think of yourself. You acted only to help others. That is rare in any species. Salen nodded. Your actions today speak louder than any words. Velithians have not seen such courage and care from an outsider before. You are beginning to earn our trust. Alex smiled, feeling the weight of his role. He was a stranger on a foreign world, yet slowly, through honesty and action, he was connecting with them. He realized that humans and Velithians were very different, yet they could find common ground in courage, honesty, and compassion. That night, Alex stood on a terrace again, looking at the twin suns setting. The city below glowed softly, alive and beautiful. He whispered to himself, maybe words alone are not enough. Maybe actions are the true bridge between worlds. Inside, the alien women gathered in private councils, speaking in whispers. Some debated whether humans could be trusted. Others discussed Alex's courage and honesty. Slowly, a new idea spread. Beauty was not only in form or perfection, but also in action and heart. Alex drifted to sleep, dreaming of glowing eyes, silver skin, and the strange, fragile connection that had begun with one simple sentence and grew stronger with every honest act. He performed Part 4, Pride Meets Understanding. The days on Valith passed in a strange rhythm for Alex Turner. Each morning brought new lessons, new observations, and new challenges. The alien women watched him closely, some with curiosity, others with caution. The words he had spoken weeks ago, "I have never seen a creature more beautiful than you," still echoed in their minds. Some felt shock, some felt doubt, and a few felt something they had never admitted: wonder. Alex had grown accustomed to their silences and gestures. He understood that every glance, every tilt of the head was communication. Today, he would face a test unlike any before. The ruling council of Valith had summoned him. The council, made up of elder women with long, silver hair and sharp violet eyes, sat in a vast chamber. Crystal pillars rose from the floor to the ceiling, reflecting soft lights in rainbow patterns. The air was cool and faintly sweet, carrying a sense of authority that made Alex's chest tighten. Lurie and Salen stood beside him, acting as guides and translators. Alex bowed slightly, careful not to offend, though he knew this gesture was more symbolic than necessary. The council's eyes studied him, unblinking, almost as if they could see his thoughts. "Human," the eldest of the council began, her voice low and firm, "you have walked among us for many days. You speak freely, act without fear, and have drawn attention to matters that are unusual for outsiders." Alex nodded. "I only wish to understand and to learn." "I mean no disrespect." The council whispered among themselves. The elders spoke quickly, their language musical and precise. Laura translated in soft tones. "They say that beauty is measured by strength, control, and perfection. Your words and actions challenge these values. They are curious but also cautious. You must prove your meaning if you wish to be accepted." Alex felt a chill. He had expected questions but not a test. He had hoped honesty would be enough, but he realized that in Valith, words and deeds had consequences far beyond what he knew. "How should I prove myself?" Alex asked carefully. The eldest council member regarded him, her eyes narrowing slightly. "Beauty must be earned through understanding and courage. We will test your way of seeing. You will not fight, for combat is empty. You will show your understanding of life, of effort, and of care. Only then will your words carry weight." Alex took a deep breath. He had faced challenges before, but this was different. He would not fight for glory. He would act for understanding. He nodded, ready to follow whatever path they required. The first test involved the city's youngest citizens, the children of Valith. They were taught from birth to move with precision, to obey without question, and to hide any display of emotion. Today, one of the domes had a malfunction in its protective barrier. A small section collapsed, leaving the children exposed to the intense sun. Alex and the alien women rushed to the scene. The children froze, unsure how to react. Alex acted quickly, lifting small barriers and guiding them to safety. He did not hesitate. Salen followed closely, assisting him, while Lurie coordinated the other women. The council observed from above. Their eyes were sharp, noting every movement, every decision. Alex's actions were not perfect, but they were sincere. He encouraged the children, praised small efforts, and helped repair the barrier. After the task was complete, Alex looked around at the children's faces. Some smiled faintly, others watched silently, but no one was harmed. He realized that in Valeth, even a small act of care could carry more weight than hours of speech. "Your actions show thought, courage, and empathy," Laura translated when the council spoke. "These are values not often displayed by outsiders. The children look to you differently now. They trust you in ways we have not seen before." Alex felt a warmth in his chest. He had not meant to impress, only to act naturally. Yet the council seemed to consider him more seriously now. The next test involved knowledge and problem-solving. The alien women led Alex to the city's central archive, a vast hall of glowing crystals and floating tablets. Each tablet contained the history of Valeth, the patterns of their technology, and the records of their rituals. Lurie explained, "You must solve a task using only what you observe and learn. You cannot rely on human tools. Your understanding must match ours or fail." Alex studied the crystals carefully. He noticed patterns, sequences, and connections that the alien women might have taken for granted. Slowly, step by step, he rearranged the energy flows of a failing machine, watching it respond. The device hummed steadily, stabilizing. The council observed in silence. Finally, the eldest woman spoke. "Your understanding grows. You are not perfect. Your methods differ from ours, yet they are effective. You see the world with eyes not blinded by pride or tradition. That is unusual." Alex bowed slightly. "I learn by observing and acting. I try to understand first, then apply what I see. Mistakes are part of learning." The council whispered among themselves again. The elders were intrigued but cautious. In Valeth, pride and tradition were strong. Any outsider who challenged them could be dangerous. Alex had done so not through force, but through honesty, courage, and observation. Finally, Salen spoke. "Your way is strange, human. You see value in imperfection, in effort, in sincerity. This is difficult for many of us to accept, yet it is real, and in its way it is beautiful." Lurie added, "We have records of humans, but observation is different from experience. We understand now that your species sees beauty differently. It is not form alone. It is action, intention, and heart." Alex felt relief and a quiet joy. He had not only passed the tests, but he had also begun to shift their thinking. He realized that change in Valeth would take time, but one honest human could spark it. The council granted him permission to move more freely in the city, to interact with more alien women, and to participate in their daily lives. This was a sign of trust, though still cautious and measured. Alex knew he must continue to act with honesty, care, and courage. Any mistake now could undo everything. Over the next few days, Alex helped repair structures, assisted with teaching children, and worked alongside engineers. The alien women watched him carefully. Lurie and Salen guided him, teaching him subtle gestures, meanings, and rhythms. Alex began to understand that his presence alone was reshaping their perception of humans. At night, he often stood on a terrace, looking at the twin suns setting. The city below glowed softly, alive with motion. He thought of how far he had come in such a short time. He had arrived as an outsider, speaking words that froze the alien women. Now he was beginning to be understood, not just for what he said, but for what he did. Inside, the council debated in private. Some elder women feared the change, worried that Valethian pride and tradition might weaken. Others saw hope, a new path that combined discipline with courage and heart. Slowly, they began to recognize that beauty was not only in perfection and control, but also in intention, action, and sincerity. Alex realized that he had become a bridge, not through force, not through words alone, but through the quiet power of honesty and courage. He felt humbled and inspired. He knew that more challenges would come, more tests and more opportunities to show the human way of seeing. As he drifted to sleep that night, Alex smiled. He had faced fear, pride, and tradition, and had begun to plant seeds of understanding. Tomorrow, the journey would continue, and perhaps, in time, Valith would see beauty not only in form, but in heart. Part 5. A new meaning of beauty. Alex Turner woke to the soft glow of the twin suns, their light spilling pink and gold across the desert city. The air was calm and the city dome shimmered like crystal in the morning light. Today felt different. He sensed change in Valith, subtle but real. The alien women had begun to move more freely around him, their gestures softer, their eyes curious rather than cautious. Laura Bennett greeted him at the door. "Good morning," she said. "Today, the council has asked to observe your interactions in more public areas. They are testing not only your honesty but your consistency." Alex nodded. He knew the council still had doubts. Valithians were proud and change was slow. But he also knew that trust grew with every action, every small moment of sincerity. Their first stop was the Central Market Dome. Alien women sold goods of crystal, silk, and energy devices. Humans and Valithians alike moved through the bustling corridors, but Alex noticed the subtle difference. Before, the alien women had kept strict order, every movement precise, every expression hidden. Now some watched him with curiosity, even admiration. A young alien girl tripped over a low crystal stand. Alex was there instantly, catching her gently. She froze, then looked up at him wide-eyed. Alex smiled. "Are you okay?" he asked softly. She nodded. Salen, walking beside him, whispered, "Your actions speak louder than any word. Even small gestures change perception here." Lurie followed, observing quietly. They begin to see value in effort, in courage, in care. This is rare. Most outsiders cannot do this. Alex felt warmth in his chest. He realized he was no longer just a visitor. He was a part of this world, slowly bridging the gap between humans and Valithians. Later, a council member approached. She was one of the elder women who had been skeptical since his arrival. "Human," she said, her voice soft but firm, "we have observed you for many days. Your words were strange, your actions unusual yet effective. You see beauty differently from us. You see it in courage, in kindness, in heart. Explain this to us if you can." Alex took a deep breath. On Earth, humans admire honesty and care. We see courage in effort, beauty in helping others, and trust in actions, not only words. We do not measure perfection alone. Beauty is in how one acts and in the intentions behind those actions. The elder woman studied him. "Your words are simple yet clear. You speak of values not tied to power or control. It is new to us." Alex nodded. "I do not wish to threaten or change your ways. I only hope you can understand another way of seeing." The elder woman paused, then nodded slowly. She turned and signaled to the council. Murmurs spread across the hall, discussions in the musical Valithian language. Laura translated softly. "They say your ideas are not dangerous but enlightening. You have shown that beauty is more than form. It is also heart and courage." Alex felt a quiet thrill. After weeks of careful actions and honest words, the council was beginning to accept his perspective. He knew the journey was not complete, but this was a turning point. That afternoon, Alex helped with a city repair project. A section of the outer dome had cracked during a minor quake. Alien women and humans worked side by side. Alex instructed, assisted, and acted where needed. Every gesture, every careful movement was watched. Salen observed closely, giving quiet advice. When the repair was complete, the children of Valith clapped softly, an unusual display of emotion. Alex smiled at them. "Well done," he said warmly. The children's eyes sparkled. They had seen courage, patience, and effort rewarded. Later, Alex sat with Lurie and Salen in a quiet chamber. Lurie spoke first. "We have watched you for days. Your courage is genuine. Your honesty is not just words. You act with heart. You have taught us a new way to see." Salen added, "We are still cautious, but we begin to understand. Your species has values that complement ours. Bravery, kindness, and truth can be as strong as tradition and control." Alex felt humbled. He had only acted as himself, and yet he had sparked change in a proud and ancient civilization. He realized the true power of honesty and sincerity. The council then summoned him for a final meeting. They gathered in the great hall, crystal pillars shimmering in the soft light. Every elder woman was present. The city seemed to hold its breath. "Human Alex Turner," the eldest spoke, "we have observed your actions, your words, and your way of seeing. You have shown courage, kindness, and honesty. These are beautiful qualities. Qualities we now recognize as true beauty alongside form and control." Alex bowed slightly. "I am honored. I only tried to be myself and act with care." The eldest woman smiled faintly, a rare expression for a Velithian elder. "Your presence has changed us. Beauty is no longer measured solely by perfection or silence. It is also measured by heart, by courage, by action. You have taught this lesson not with force but with integrity." Alex felt a rush of emotion. He had come as a stranger, a visitor. Now he had become a bridge between worlds. He realized that humans could be admired, not for power or technology, but for honesty, courage, and care. Before leaving the council chamber, Alex spoke softly. "Thank you. Your acceptance means more than I can say. I hope this understanding will continue between humans and Velithians for a long time." The elders nodded. Some touched his hands briefly, a gesture of respect, rare and profound. Alex understood this as the highest compliment he could receive. That evening, Alex prepared to leave Valeth. He walked through the city one last time, observing the changes. Alien women moved with slightly more freedom, their expressions softer, their gestures less rigid. Children laughed softly. The city felt lighter, more alive. Salen approached him. "You have done more than anyone imagined," she said. "Your words and actions have reshaped how we see ourselves. You are remembered not just as a human visitor, but as one who taught us a new meaning of beauty." Lurie smiled. "You came as a stranger, yet you are part of us now. Your courage, your honesty, your care, they will be remembered." Alex felt a deep sense of fulfillment. He realized that the ripples he had created weeks ago had grown into waves. The alien women who had once frozen at his words now understood them. They had learned to see beauty through the eyes of a human heart. As he boarded the shuttle to return to Earth, Alex looked back at the shimmering city. He whispered to himself, "I hope you will remember, beauty is not just in form but in courage, honesty, and care." Laura and the human team took their seats. The shuttle lifted, cutting through the pink and gold sky. Below, Valeth glowed softly, alive with life and change. Alex turned to look at the alien women who had accompanied him to the landing zone. Salen, Lurie, and many others watched silently. Then, slowly, one by one, they nodded. It was not just a farewell, but a promise. The lesson of beauty, courage, and honesty would continue. As the shuttle rose higher, Alex smiled. He had arrived on Valeth as a stranger and left as a bridge between two worlds. He had spoken one simple truth, acted with courage, and in doing so, changed the way an entire civilization saw beauty. For the first time, he understood that humans were admired not just for power, intelligence, or technology, but for heart. Honesty, courage, and care could shape worlds, touch lives, and inspire even the proudest of civilizations. The twin suns set on Valeth one last time as Alex's shuttle disappeared into the stars. The story of a human who spoke truth, acted with care, and showed real beauty would be remembered across generations. And somewhere in the heart of Valeth, alien women would never forget the human who showed them a new way to see the world. The journey was over, but the legacy had just begun.